What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon, and it's a Monday, which can mean, of course, only one thing. We're going to be taking a look at the world rankings to see what has shifted up from those games on the weekend after round 2 of the Rugby Championship and elsewhere in the world. Then we're going to take a look at the Super Brew results. How did our predictions get on? Taking a look at the fantasy teams and going over the team of the week. Who's the best possible team you could have gone for? If you enjoy these videos, remember to hit the old like button and we'll dive straight into it. Starting out with the world rankings then. In terms of, big swapping around, not quite as much to talk about as last week, where of course we had the big game with Argentina taking big points away from New Zealand. Them getting the win over Argentina this week means they reclaimed some of those points, but far less than they lost last week. Only up by 0.38. It's still a win. It was a much more convincing game from New Zealand, which was nice to see. New Zealand getting their second win over Australia. Still not seeing any point shifting for them. Still staying that number 1 spot on 93.11. Anything else happening elsewhere in the world that I'm just completely unaware of? I always like to have a look through some of these lower ranking games. Nope, doesn't look like we've got a lot going on. So not a lot of changes to talk about world rankings. Maybe a very short one this week. Moving on to the Super Brew, predictions-wise. Starting out with New Zealand versus Argentina. I thought New Zealand would bounce back for this one. I said it in the previous video. They tend to really come back hard after losses, so I was expecting them to win this game. Eventually, I said New Zealand by 14. I thought Argentina would get some points on the board still in that first half, maybe go for kicks and stuff. But a much more clinical game by New Zealand. Eventually, they took it by 32. So way out here, you can see over on the 95 percentile. Not many people really going out there. Who got that far out then? Mama Castudler. I'm going to unfortunately butcher your name, unfortunately. But you said New Zealand by 30, so only 2 points away, which is a really good pick there. So you get the full contingency of points. And Finn the Russell Hustle just about squeaks in with New Zealand on 27. Still within that 5 points means you get that extra half bonus point. I imagine the rest of us went for New Zealand, but we didn't go out that high. Anyone go for Argentina? Anyone thought 2 on the bounce? 4 people went for Argentina. GQ, Scottish Squid, Splash Rugby, and Geomore 11 Rugby all thought Argentina could go back to back. I wasn't thinking they would do quite that well this week, but New Zealand really took it back up a notch this week. Second game, Australia, South Africa. Really, I was quite happy with this one. I said South Africa by 18. They took it by 18. I got it bang on. It's very rare I get to talk about me getting it bang on. A lot of you guys are much better than me at being able to take that one. So 2 from 2 for me this week, which is nice to see. Who won for Australia? Colanders Rugby, Ian, El Capitan, and Brim Daddy all went for Australia. Thought maybe an upset. I mean, there was a bit more of a B team, South Africa, and a lot of different players coming in. So I don't think it was an outrageous call to say Australia might have looked to see if they could take that one. But again, that South Africa team just too powerful. So 18. Did anyone else join me on it? Oh, wow, everyone. The one time I get it right, like all of you guys apparently get the exact same one as me. That's a lot of us. Tate McDermott fan, Brandon, Etai, Exaquias, Octal Microbe, and myself all went for 18. So we all kind of screwed each other. In terms of the bonus point, because we don't really get to take anything away from that. Only an extra 0.25 for us. A lot of people staying within that 5-point boundary. Pretty middle range score, so a lot of people are going to get that half bonus point. As it stands then at the end of this round, hey, there's me. I'm actually kind of up towards the top of the round. Mama Castudler, whose name I'm just going to keep getting wrong until I learn to pronounce that one rightly, went top 2 from 2. Got that, of course, that bonus point from the New Zealand game was going to seal that one out. 3.5 points in this round, and only a TDM of 8 is really good. TDM of 7 though, fair play to Fed and the Russell Hustle. Really good for you, also getting that 3 points in second place. A time, Octo Microbe, Aquarius, me, Tate McDermott fan, Brandon 09, all of us joined on 2.75, and then a lot more people are going to have 2.5. Obviously a lot less games when we do like the Six Nations and stuff, and there's a lot less sort of variance going on here. So we'll have a bit of a scroll down so everyone can see where they all end up. Quite a few people on 2, and these are all people that went for maybe the underdogs there. People getting 0. I thought Super Brew gave you the benefit of the doubt and gave you an automatic pick if you don't get a score locked in, but apparently that might not be happening this time around. Don't know what's going on there. In terms of the leaderboard then, what has shaken up? Foster King staying out in number 1 spot. 4 win points so far. The only person to get all 4 games correct so far in this Rugby Championship, sitting out there on 4.5. However, Finn the Russell Hustle has gone up 11. Mama Castudler has gone up 28. And Ian, unfortunately, dropping down 3, going from that top spot last week. But all of you guys are actually joint on the points on 4.5. So all that is separating you now is that TDM, which, of course, is the points different across the board. So technically, I'm second. I can't call that, can I? I'm 5th, but, you know, 2nd in terms of the points there on 4.25. It's much better than I was doing across the summer internationals. JP Madoff is alongside Big Brain, who's down 4, and Milan also dropped down 3. All of you guys joined on 4 points. Etai climbs 20, Exaquias climbs 29, and Brandon09 climbs 25 to go up to that 3.75 to steal the rest of the top 10. We'll have a bit of a scroll down so everyone can see their name. Mark Dunphy did well there, climbing at 15. Villa Farrell down 10. Picks going not quite as well for you this week. Highland Cow down 13 as well. Some big drops down. Dave Wakefield climbs up 7 along the way. So a bit of a scroll down. Octal Microbe there coming in on his joint pick with me on the South Africa, climbs 9. GQ down 21. Geomore Rugby down 27. You go for those underdogs. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And when it rains, unfortunately, it pours in the Predictor. Lots of red down here. Connor does Rugby. Unfortunately, for you, mate, dropping down that 13. Joey Barton down 38. Bears Gamer. I don't think Gary picks in lock this week, I don't think. Down 29 into 45th. So, congratulations to Mama Castoodla. I'm going to hopefully get that pronunciation better over the course of the rest of this tournament on being able to take the round. Foster King, congratulations on taking that top spot at the end of round 2. Ian's going to have, I'm sure, something to say about that in round 3. They'll get back to that top spot. All very close at the time. In fact, I'm not too far off being able to take that. That sounds weird to say about the Predictor for me because I suck at the Predictor. But you know what? I will take it for now. Moving on to the fantasy then. Boy, oh boy. A lot more open this week. There was a lot more players being able to get into the big scores, as it were. So we'll take a look at who took the top 3 spots. That's what I like to do, and then we'll go over the team of the week, and we'll have a bit of a scroll through. So Avalon takes the top spot on 183.5, which again is a really good score. I consider like 200 to be like, that is a great round once you hit 200 in one of these Subarus because the way the point system works. So anywhere up there, I think the community average I saw on Subaru for the whole of Subaru was like 140 something. So, 40 points above is really good. Exaquias there coming in second place on 181.5 and Big Brain sealing out that top 3 on 179.5. I'm a little bit further down. I had a slightly better round. But team of the week. Where did we all stand with picking the best players? So I've got them written down. Unfortunately, I've got nothing to put on screen for you guys. So I'll sort of highlight the bars and stuff as we're going along as well. So in your props department, your best props of the round: Thomas Dutoy coming in there on 8.5 and Tyrell Lomax coming in on 8. Your best hooker in the green bar, nobody had him in the top 10. A lot of people went for Cody Taylor, who got 10.5, but the best hooker of the round was Malcolm Marks on 14, coming on from the bench. And this is what I'm kicking myself about. I had no hooker at the start of the round. I had to choose a brand new one. I went for Grobbelaar. I thought starting for South Africa, I thought maybe they'd go for some driving more tries. I've seen his highlight reels, the tap and go tries. Didn't even consider Malcolm Marks, second half. Australia a bit more tired. I don't know why. My own fault. It's kind of screaming there, but Malcolm Marks was the way to go on 14 points. Your best locks in the yellow bar along here. Tupo Vai got 12.5 and Dari got 10. So the best you could have done there was 22.5. Your back rows, Ardi Sarvea, player of the round in terms of performance, even though he didn't get the highest score. But for me personally, I thought he was absolutely phenomenal in this game. Will have got you 23. Playing out of his skin. And then the rest of the back rows. Peter Steph Dutoy coming in on 12 and Marco van Staden coming in on 11.5. You will see a couple of people have bigger red bars. That's because a lot of people I did see made Ardi Sarvea captain, which great call for this week. He had a fantastic game. I never really think about picking back rows as captains. I always go for wingers and just roll the dice on it. Your scrum half in the orange bar along here. Best one you could have gone for, TJ Piranara on 7. Not a great scoring round for scrum halves along the way. This was another poor one by myself. I used 7 substitutes or 7 transfers this week rather than the usual 6. Again, I had no scrum half who was playing, so I went for Nick White because I had to pick an Australian scrum half. And Nick White only scored like 3. So I spent 6 points to only earn 3 back. It would have been better had I not picked a scrum half for the game, which is kind of wild. In your fly half department, you can see a lot of people had him here in the purple. If you had him as your kicker and just generally as well, he was the player around. It was Damien McKenzie coming in there as your fly half on 23.5. Your best centres in the dark blue, Geordie Barrett on 13.5 and Jesse Creel on 8.5, meaning your best possible centre partnership was 22, which a lot of us had, including me. Hey, we did okay there. And then in terms of your back three, Afalili Fassi coming in on 15, Caleb Clark on 17, and Will Jordan on 28. Just having a superb one. A couple of people picked him as captain. Huge grey bars along the way there on like 65. You can see it there for Wombat999. Got 65. I did okay. I had Mapimpi. Got 11. It was okay. I still haven't had a week yet where I've had like a really good captain, so kind of let me down in terms of the captaincy. But there is your team of the week. Who's the best possible you could have gone for? We'll have a bit of a scroll down. Like I said, I got kind of screwed over this week. South Africa getting rid of like all their players. I had like 9 players not playing. So I had to desperately make a lot of switches around. Managed to get away with it. So what I didn't do last week I thought could be fun. To have a look at the winning team. Let's have a look at what Avalon had. Let's take a look at the team we went through there. You know, that is pretty superb. You think about how many people we did say. Yeah, a couple of the Argentinian and Australian players just didn't really score well across the board. So having them everywhere, maybe Mateo Carreras, bit of a blow there. Nick White is the same one I had as well. But got some really big names. A lot of those sort of gold star players we spoke about there. Really, really solid all the way around. So, you know, absolutely brilliant team to have. And then in terms of the leaderboard, what has shaken up? Avalon takes the top spot, jumping up 3 places, up to 354. Foot Yeezy, who is the king, apparently, of the Rugby Championship to take on this year. I couldn't remember who won last year, but Foot Yeezy's got the purple crown, so I assume that means Foot Yeezy won this one last year on 347. Still climbing up 3, but in second place, very tight up the top there. And Big Brain, who's just always in there in amongst the top spot as well, up 9 into third place on 341.5, only half a point ahead of Etai, who climbed up 6 as well, who's only half a point ahead of Villa Farrell, who dropped down 3 but still got some great scores there. How tight is that? For third place, really, really nice to see some tight combat going up the top there. El Capitan dropping down 3 into 6th place on 339, still a great score. Wombat999 steals out 7th on 335. David Wakefield climbs up 5 to join the top 10 on 331. Brumbies all the way climbs up 2 to get to 326.5. And PR Azevedo drops down 1 but still stays in the top 10 on 324.5. I'll have a bit of a scroll down. We can go over some of the big jumpers. Exaquies jumped up 10. That was a big jump for you this week on 321. David, unfortunately, dropping down 13. Ooh, that's a big old blow, David. Myself, I climbed up 4. I'm up into 15th. I would like to get in the top 10 by the end of the Rugby Championship. I think I'm still 316. I'm like 40 points out. I know. I think that's going to be tough to make up to first place. But if I can get in the top 10 by the end of the tournament, I feel pretty happy about that one. Illegal Kiwi up 1 as well to sort of get quite close to only 5 points separating us. Fantasy Titans drops down 10. That's a big blow for you this week. Any other big jumpers? Dave 61. A lot of Daves going down this week. What's going on there? Down 14 places into 20th on 303. Any other big jumpers? Brandon, unfortunately for you, going down 12. On 265 as we scroll down, a couple of wooden spoons going along the way there. But thank you to everyone who is joining in. Congratulations to Avalon on not just taking the round, but moving up into that top spot. You've got to seal it out now. I mean, to be fair, a bit of daylight. 7 points is okay. That third place battle is something to look at, though. There's some big hitters. There always is in our league. We have a really top end, like, competitive league. Some of the, Foot Easy, Big Brain, Eta, these are people we've seen them like right in the top 10 in the world right before. So I'm enjoying seeing these guys still being competitive. Unfortunately, that my captain pick's not going well for me. And a couple of silly decisions along the way already. We're only on round 2. I've already made some silly decisions. But big games going on next round. South Africa and New Zealand, really tough to start picking players there because typically in those big games, not a lot of points scored in the fantasy. Argentina versus Australia, both coming off the back of losses. What's going to happen there? Man, a lot of really fun games to go on there, guys. Unfortunately, no Rugby Championship this week. We're in the little off week this week. So 2 weeks' time is when we'll be jumping into some more preview videos and stuff. I'll be trying to find some stuff to fill some content. I'm away this weekend, so unfortunately, no update videos coming next weekend. But I hope you've all enjoyed this one today, guys. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.